Hello, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Daisy. I'm head of HR at Better Food. I am running a couple of small, short, roughly 5-minute training videos as we've had to cancel all our face-to-face training due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about social distancing and what the guidelines are and what we've put in place to help you with social distancing at work. Most of you probably know all of this already, so apologies in advance, but I thought it would just be really helpful to get everything down in one place and really explain what we've done and why. So sorry if I'm preaching to the converted and everybody who already knows, but there will be some of us who don't know everything, so it's really important that we are as crystal clear as possible, and that is what this video is for. Firstly, you'll have seen that in the stores we've restricted the amount of customers that are permitted in at any one time. So you'll know that at St Werburgh's it's maximum of 10 customers at a time. White Ladies Road it is 6, and at Wapping Wharf it is 5. The Union for Retail Workers, USDOR, their guidance is that there should be no more than 5 customers per 1,000 square feet. So we are well within those guidelines, so that's absolutely fine. Some of you already know this because you've been working the door, which is great. Thank you so much. It's been a bit difficult to manage to start with, but I think more and more people are getting used to the fact that actually this is what they have to do everywhere, and it's not just us. So things should hopefully be a bit easier with this in future. Alongside the limits on customers in store, we've also produced signage asking parents who have no choice but to shop with their children to remind them that they are responsible for their children following social distancing guidelines. We have obviously asked that it's only one shopper per household at any given time, but we know that that's not always possible with single parents and things like that. So there is signage to remind them politely that their child is their responsibility at the end of the day, but we shouldn't be stopping them from bringing their children to the store when they have no alternatives. So if you see somebody shopping with children, you just need to refer them to the signage rather than asking their kids to wait outside, because ultimately that's not going to happen and it's going to cause more arguments than really we need to deal with at the moment. All tills in all stores now have been fitted with protective screens around the tills, so hopefully you've seen those. These are there to protect you more so than anything else. They have been fitted, they are here for the duration. We obviously don't know how long this is all going to go on for, so they could be in place for a year or more, we just don't know, but hopefully not. So what we've done is we've had these screens fitted, so please make sure that you are cleaning them, looking after them, using them appropriately. If you have any customers who are not respecting the screens, maybe leaning around or saying this is ridiculous, then please feel free to assert your position and inform the customers why they are there and ask them to step back. But there's a whole other video on that already, so make sure you watch that one. We have had markers placed in all stores inside and out to show customers the social distancing guidelines. You've probably seen them, they're little round green circles with feet in with the Better Food symbol. So these are really helpful for customers and for you guys as well to know where to stand and what the social distancing guidelines are. Obviously the social distancing guidelines are for people to stand 2 meters apart, so that's why we've had these installed. There is also tape markers around the stores so that the customers know and you know how far that 2 meter gap is, which will hopefully help people navigate their way around and still stay within social distancing guidelines. Some shops are also getting retractable belt barriers so that areas can be blocked off when you're restocking and the store is open. It's not going to be possible to put them in all stores, but I know that White Ladies Road also are getting a movable gate that can do the same thing, so that can be moved around to block off areas when they're being restocked, again to help us with social distancing, because the last thing you want is to be working a trolley of chilled, I wish we had a pallet of chilled, and having customers squeeze past you or lean around you to get into the fridges. So we're just going to be able to block those areas off to make sure that we can restock safely. You've all been given 2 reusable masks to wear. They look like this. And there's another video that I've done to show you how to wear them and use them safely. Now, these masks are more for others' protection than yourself, so really they're most effective when everyone is wearing them, so please do wear them whenever possible. They are uncomfortable, they are hot, but unfortunately during this time it's one of those things that is just going to have to make us uncomfortable and hot so that we can protect each other. So I really do recommend that you wear them. It's obviously still mandatory, you don't have to wear them, but I would suggest that you do. All cafes across all stores have been closed. We are now offering takeaway coffee, contactless coffee only. So that is where a customer can bring their own cup in if they wish, or they can have a single-use cup where it's placed on a tray. It's then filled with coffee without any of the cafe staff having to touch it, and given back to the customer on the same tray, so that they are the only ones who touch their cup. This is a really great initiative that we've been working on with City to Sea, and Lewis and Sarah have been absolute champions of this, so thank you very much. As the cafe spaces are all closed, please feel free to use these for your break times and to take 5 minutes in. We have a responsibility as much as our customers to practice social distancing, not only from our customers but also from each other. There have been a lot of measures brought in place to make sure that everybody has the space that they need wherever we can. Now, I know some of your staff rooms and your offices are really small, so at White Ladies and Wapping Wharf we have limited the amount of people who can be in the office at any one time to 2, and at St Werburgh's every other computer is not being used, so there is at least that gap between everybody who is using a computer. I know that at White Ladies and Wapping we're looking at getting some of the computers moved so that all computers can be used, because I know that that is a bit of a restriction for you all. Wapping, obviously you guys have a laptop which Beth has, so make sure that you're talking to her if you want to use it, and also please make sure that you do abide by this. I know it's pain, and I know it's going to make things really difficult, and you might have to wait a bit longer to check your emails or to go on and do something that you need to on the computer, but ultimately your health and safety is way more important at this moment in time. We have also revised and updated our COVID-19 risk assessments. You may have seen some going around at the end of March. These have now been updated in line with where we are now, in line with lockdown having been slightly lifted, and also with all these measures that we've done and put in place as well. If you want to have a look at the risk assessment, it is available to view on the Better Food website, on my HR toolkit, and also on the shared drive. So I really do strongly recommend that you check it out. You've also nominated and elected your health and safety representatives, which is amazing. So they are a group of people, one representing each location within the business, who will be meeting weekly with me and with other members of the management team to inform, advise and consult on any changes in health and safety measures we put in place. So if you have any concerns or you want them to bring something to the table, please make sure you get in contact with them. You should know who they are, and fingers crossed they will be able to help us make sure that we are doing everything that we possibly can, and that the things that we're doing are reasonable and helpful rather than massively restrictive and not that helpful. So please make sure that you know who your health and safety representative is and how to get in contact with them. Thank you everyone for watching. If you have any questions or you need any help, please contact me. You know where to find me. If you dial my extension 209, it comes straight through to my personal mobile, so you'll be able to get contact with me if there's any emergencies or urgent queries. Otherwise you can just drop me an email. I'm all ears. So stay safe, look after each other, and thank you again.